Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to our weekly COT review. Today we're going to be looking at the 16th Commitments of Traders Report of 2020. And as we always do, we shall start our analysis by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. And as you may see, we've got the soybean meal on top of our list with a 22% change in commercials positions. You can see there's a 20% change in large speculators and also 20% change in small speculators. Now these changes compared to the average are definitely larger. If you look at this 52 weeks time range, it is of course a bullish COT change signal coming after a decent decline on Friday. So who knows, this could be a signal for us to be expecting a turn back towards higher prices early next week. We shall see. Moving on to the 5 years chart, you can see that we have in this past 2 weeks moved away from this relative bearish extreme, nothing too unusual. You can see that it was a more of a successful signal, this relative bearish extreme. The last major bearish extreme from May of 2018 is visible here. Beautiful signal just at the top. We're not at those levels, of course, nor are we at any bullish extremes for that matter. So we're more or less in between the two extremes. It would be mainly the COT change signal that we could act upon in this recent report. Moving on to heating oil, we have a 15% change over there in commercials positions, a 12% change in large speculators. Again, a bit larger than average change size. Nothing too unusual. It is a bearish COT change signal suggesting further weakness in heating oil in the next few days. If we move on to the 5 years chart, we just in the past couple of weeks, month, we've been moving away basically since February of 27th of February from this bullish extreme. You may see it was a very unsuccessful one because the market has gone lower. Now, of course, we are definitely not at any bearish extreme. And before we can expect a change in this downtrend, we should expect traders to move towards their bullish extreme, meaning commercials back above 23,000 contracts net long, and large speculators could increase their net short positions below 30,000 contracts. That would mean, again, we are in a bullish COT extreme territory. That means we could start considering higher prices in heating oil. The next market is the natural gas. We have a 13% change in commercials positions over here, a bit larger than average, but nothing big. It is a bearish change signal suggesting some weakness. Moving on to the 5 years chart, you can see that similarly to the heating oil market, we moved away from bullish COT extreme territories. These signals were unsuccessful. They could not push the market higher. We are witnessing further weakness in the market. We are, of course, further away from significant bearish extremes. The one from November of 2018, a beautiful one at this top, of course, shows us how far traders can increase their positions. But of course, in such market circumstances, we should be expecting traders to move towards their bullish extremes in case of commercials above 200,000 contracts net long territory, and in case of large speculators above 250, that would be the case. Moving on to large speculators COT extreme, we have the true US dollar index on top of our list with 100 report extreme, but that's something for our subscribers. So we shall open the euro with a 95 report extreme in large speculators. You can see that on the chart over here, basically meaning that since June of 2018, we have not seen traders, large speculators at such levels. This, of course, is a bearish COT extreme. If you look a little bit further back, you can see that this extreme could widen to even greater levels. It's interesting to see such bearish extreme at these prices. And again, as I said in my previous remarks for the heating oil, natural gas, and soybean, that we should expect a bullish extreme that would signal us we may see higher prices in the euro. That, I believe, from these levels is pretty far away. So from the COT reports perspective, this seems very bearish for the euro. Mexican peso is our next market with a 68 report extreme. In large speculators, you can see traders at their net zero territory. Of course, this does not mean there aren't any shorts and longs. This just means the net positions. This is, of course, a bullish extreme, no question about that. But if you look further back in time, I mean, before 2017, May of 2017, you may see much greater bullish extremes in the market, which suggests that this extreme that we are witnessing now could possibly go to even greater levels. Now, in the crisis that we're in, we should, I think, be more careful and cautious before rushing into the market just based on this extreme that we see. My experience tells me that these extremes could widen for many, many weeks and months before we see a major shift in the trend. So that's that for the Mexican peso. And the last market that we will analyze today is the Russian ruble, where again we have a relative bullish extreme, 64 report, both in commercials and large speculators. And as you can see on the charts, that is unquestionably a bullish extreme. We had that extreme back in mid-March. It was, I should say, it was a successful signal. You can see the Russian ruble gaining some strength in the past couple of weeks. But of course, we should not be surprised to see possible weakness in the Russian ruble, which of course would mean even higher extremes coming. Nevertheless, it is an extreme, a bullish extreme, no question about that. You can see how the market reacted to bullish extremes in the past. So that's the Russian ruble. Of course, if you want, you can always come to COT Base and analyze all the markets that are available. And of course, we offer all the COT report types that CFTC publishes. We also offer all the data types and our special options only data type that you can only see over here at COT Base. There's a lot of data sets that you can analyze and of course dig deeper. A lot of settings available here. If you haven't yet checked it out, then please do so. And I will say goodbye to you with some thanks for being with me. And I wish you a pleasant weekend. I hope to see you next week. Take care. Goodbye.